reality, my mentality. Everything changes so rapidly, and I'm ready for the never-ending fire. Dancing with my deepest dark desires. Miracle, how empirical. Don't know anything quite as hysterical. Everything around me transpires as I fulfill my darkest desire.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Impulse7 here, and today everybody's in the video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a summary video on Gumdrop Angel, the newest Fazbear Frights book. But this is only going to be on the first story. But don't worry, I will be doing videos on the other two stories, What We Found and Sergio's Lucky Day. And I'm also going to be doing a video on the Stitch Ray story. I haven't read those other three yet. I've only read Gumdrop Angel so far, and I'll say I did like it. Wasn't the best story, but it wasn't bad, not at all. So yeah, let's just start off the summary. I'm also gonna be covering the details that I found. I found 14 of them, because you guys do seem to like those videos, at least a little bit. And if not, go check them out. If you haven't watched them, go check them out. There's a playlist reading FNaF books for the first time and finding new details, and that's something like that. That's the playlist. So yeah, I got a playlist for that, and yeah, you can go check those videos out because those are pretty fun to make. Anyways, let's start the summary. So the main character is Angel, and Angel is always really jealous of her stepsister, who is named Ophelia. Ophelia is really spoiled, and Angel basically gets no attention from her parents, and when she does, it's usually bad. The story begins with Angel trapped inside a box, and this is actually a sneak peek for what we see at the end of the book, or at the end of the story. But then it quickly cuts to Angel at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza for Ophelia's birthday party, and well, she doesn't like it at Freddy's, to say the least. She starts to think about, like, if she had superpowers, she could get out of here, like teleport away or whatever, you know? Any place in the world would be better than where she currently was. In reality, though, most of her hate for this place was just because they were only here for the party, and she hates her stepsister, Ophelia, so yeah. Her dad left her when she was little, and her mom is always, like, working, and still is basically broke. But now she had married this dude named Myron, which Angel despises, and Angel doesn't really understand why people spend so much money on birthday parties, since, like, Angel could really use it herself, which may sound selfish, but, I think it's just, like, the way that I'm saying it, because in reality, it's really not that selfish. It's just because, like, Angel, nobody really does anything for Angel, you know? Angel thinks her mom is really self-involved and weak, and also a gold digger, but yeah. Basically, Angel thinks her mom is a terrible mother, and in a way she's right. And also, quite frankly, she is a whore. Yeah. So, at this point, Angel is 18 and Ophelia is only 5. So Ophelia shows up and offers Angel pizza, but Angel hates the pizza at Freddy's, so she shoves it away. And this ends up making Ophelia cry, and she claims Angel hit her. But Ophelia is obviously faking her sadness, and seconds later she's in a joyous mood, excited for the animatronics to perform and dance to their song. Or maybe she wasn't faking it, but like she just didn't care too much. So an announcer is on stage, and he asks the kids, "Is everyone ready to have even more fun? Or is everybody having fun?" And then Freddy himself says, "Is everyone ready to have even more fun?" And I like that Freddy actually speaks here, and I like that Freddy is all about fun, and he also is in FNaF AR, so that's a little connection, not too big, so I didn't really include it in the detail section, but yeah. So Angel leaves the table to go to the restroom and to like clean herself up because she got pizza sauce all over her, and she runs into a Freddy's employee she finds cute, and his name is Dominic. And the room is like really loud because of the music from the animatronics, and the room is pretty crowded too. So Dominic takes her to like the waiting room, and well, she doesn't object. Basically, she just lets him take her. So he helps her clean off the pizza sauce, and they start talking to each other about stuff which doesn't really matter. And Dominic ends up asking her out, which really didn't surprise me. And Angel obviously said yes, and that also didn't surprise me. So she gave him she gave him her number, and he didn't write it down, but instead just said he had great memory and would remember it, and he actually does in the end, and that's weird. This makes me think Dominic is a bit sus, and he definitely is. So yeah, Angel goes back to the table, and after her encounter with Dominic, she started hating Freddy's just a tad bit less. So when Ophelia goes to blow out her candles, she struggled, and so the animatronics helped her blow the candles out. And yeah, that's interesting, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on in the detail section. So then a statue comes down, which looks like a girl. It's like shaped like a girl, and it's made of literal candy. And it's actually an animatronic, kind of, and it can move around a bunch like an animatronic. But it was supposed to be eaten, and it is eaten. But as it's being eaten, it's still active and moving a little bit. Ophelia had one last piece to eat, but she decided to save it for later, and the piece was the Gumdrop nose, and we'll talk more about this later because this is absolutely insane and weird. So they finally left and went home at around 6 p.m., and the party had been like 6 hours long. On the car ride home, Myron said that Ophelia was going to get a special birthday surprise, and this makes Angel angry considering what had been going on at that party for the past 6 hours. So yeah, they made it to like this farm, and there's horses there, and Ophelia loves horses. And they are buying Ophelia a horse and a pony. Angel branches off from the others because she doesn't want to see them. She doesn't want to talk to them. She hates them. She hates her family. And she meets a red-headed girl named Tammy. And Angel feeds like an apple to the horse just because. So yeah, I said Ophelia is getting both a horse and a pony. And those are actually really expensive. To just buy them both in total would be $5,000. And to keep them and get lessons, it would be $11,500 per year. Like, Jesus, all this for Ophelia. It really makes you think about Angel really having it bad. And, yeah, they end up going home. The parents and Ophelia have huge bedrooms, and that's interesting. But Angel's room is pretty normal sized and boring. Angel liked nothing about her room, basically. Dominic calls Angel and they start talking, but then Myron picks up the phone since it was on the house line, and he yells at Dominic saying he's not going out with Angel just because he didn't see Dominic at Freddy's, even though he literally doesn't know who he was, and wouldn't even know if he saw him. This just goes to show how much of a dumb asshole Myron is. Not only that, but Angel originally was going to use a student loan to get into the art school she wanted to go to because they didn't have enough money, so she was able to get a student loan. But now that Angel's mom married Myron, they had money, so the student loan was rescinded thingy, you know? They took away the student loan, but then Myron refused to pay for it because it's not a regular college. Like, seriously, is Myron an asshole or a dick face? I think both. My nickname for him is Fricker, but not Frick, you know? Anyway, Angel ends up yelling at Myron for not doing anything for her and spending so much money on Ophelia when less money would have been spent on Angel going to college. And then she yells at her mom saying that if she didn't marry Myron, both of them would be happy, and Angel would be able to go to the school she wants to. She charges away, and when she passes Ophelia's room, she's so mad that she takes the Gumdrop nose and eats it. She did this since Angel was upset. She wanted Ophelia to be upset too. So then Myron and Angel come upstairs, and Angel runs to her room and puts her chair under the knob so they can't get in. And she felt like satisfied to have hurt Ophelia, but it also makes her feel small and ashamed of herself. So Myron comes and starts banging on the door, yelling for her to come out of her room, but Angel just lies down, starts listening to music, and eventually falls asleep. When she wakes up again, it's like 11 p.m., and she starts getting really itchy, and she gets up to go to the mirror, and when she looks in the mirror, her skin is getting really red and really pale. And I'm hoping you guys can see where this is going. The colors on her skin literally spread. So she goes over to the bathroom, and in that short time, it got even worse. And time goes on, she tries taking a shower, doesn't work. She tries, like, lotion for poison ivy, doesn't work, makes it worse. Washes off, tries to wash it off, makes it worse. And when she comes out of the shower to wash, after washing off the poison ivy thingy, lotion, she sees that what she thought were scales on her skin. Hate to break it to you, Angel, but those ain't no scales. Those are gumdrops growing on your skin. And Angel actually realizes this, like, right then, and she starts thinking the gumdrop nose is what caused this. Finally, you understand. Well, not completely. You're not yet aware that you will later turn into an animatronic gumdrop statue and children at a birthday party will literally eat you, but hey, baby steps. You don't need to know everything right at the start. So, Angel thinks now that this is an allergic reaction, so she takes antihistamines and waits for them to work. Then her eyelids feel heavy, and she thinks this means because they are working because they're supposed to make you drowsy, but it was really because now gumdrops were growing on her eyelids, as well as her arms and her forehead. This keeps getting worse and worse, and she calls Dominic, and he tells her to come to Freddy's and he'll explain what's going on. So she takes her mom's car, but now she was like shorter because her body is literally made of candy and it's collapsing in on itself. So she makes it to Freddy's and Dominic comes out to try to help her, and he seems to have been crying like he genuinely cared what was happening to her. So Freddy's now looked different than it had at the party, not just because it was empty, but Angel couldn't figure out why. But it also seemed a lot darker, and the restaurant, including the images of Freddy and the gang on the wall, looked dark and scary. I'm not sure if this is because like the lights are off, or if it's because Angel's eyes are turning into... look at the cover, look at her eyes. So yeah, Dominic says that he's gonna put her in something and it will help her. And Angel can't talk, but her hearing and seeing start getting better. But then she falls asleep, and when she wakes up, she isn't able to see properly, just as bad, if not worse, than before. She can hear things that she finds familiar, and that's because she's at Freddy's at somebody else's birthday party. So now a new gumdrop statue is introduced, and we cut over to the perspective of a girl named Julia, excited about the statue, and she takes a bite of it. Yeah, I think you understand what's happening, right? And that's where the story ends. So yeah, Angel ate the gumdrop nose from the gumdrop statue at her sister's birthday party. And then she becomes a gumdrop statue herself, and kids eat her. Yeah. So, personally, I did enjoy the story a lot. But it's kind of like he told me everything, where it was really weird. Not as weird as he told me everything, though. But yeah, now that you got the summary, I'm going to talk about the details I found in the story. But keep in mind that some of the details might not be anything, and I might just be reading too much into them. But I like showing you guys these details, and you seem to enjoy it. So yeah, I found 14, and I think most are pretty interesting. So number 1, I think the obvious connection most people can think of is Foxy Bro and Crying Child. It's a very similar situation. Both main characters, Angel and Foxy Bro, have a younger sibling who gets all the attention, so they try to get revenge, and it ends badly. Number 2, with Angel being inside the box, I think this is supposed to show us that the FNaF 4 box really does have a human being inside it, likely Crying Child's body. And if, on the off chance Mike Victim were true, then maybe this could have been how he came back to life or whatever. But I still doubt Mike Victim. Whatever. Anyway, number 3. Angel's mom has blonde hair and blue eyes, which is a really similar description to Susie in FNaF 6. Probably nothing, because a bunch of different characters in the Fazbear Fright stories have that, but I still want to mention it because it is something. So, 4. When Dominic takes her to the waiting room, Angel doesn't know why she's letting him take her. Dominic is also one of the assistant managers, and he's really smart. This reminds me a little bit of William Afton, like Dominic is luring her or something like that. At the end, he does want to help her, but by putting her in a box. This could imply William put Crying Child in the box to try and save him, but maybe it doesn't work, and then it's left up to Puppet or something like that, and he ends up getting Golden Freddy. I don't know. Who knows? Number 5. The name Ophelia means help, and this is actually said in the story. And this is really strange, but I'm not sure exactly what it could mean. Let me know in the comments what you think it could mean, and I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. Number 6. Remember how I said earlier that the animatronics can breathe? This really reminds me of FNaF 4. I always wondered how the animatronics breathed in that, but now the regular animatronics can? Why though? Honestly, I'm not so sure. This is probably why Bonnie and Chica actually make those groan noises in FNaF 1. The fact that such a seemingly insignificant detail is included here, and it's something we've already seen in the games, doesn't seem meaningless, you know? Number 7. The statue made of candy reminds me a lot of chocolate and melted chocolate Bonnie from FNaF AR, so it could be a connection to that. Number 8. The party ended around 6 p.m. and they arrived around 12 p.m. Interesting, considering the nights in the games are usually from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. So I don't think this is a random number. Yeah, it's AM, and yeah, instead here it's PM, but in the games it's AM. But yeah, still, it's exactly correct, just with a different letter right in front of the M, you know? So, yeah, I don't think it's random. Number 9. This story takes place in May, and it's said that Angel is excited because June and graduation are close. This may sound insignificant, but in FNaF 1, we learned that the missing children's incident happened on June 26th. Whether that be 1983 or 1985 is still unanswered, but I'm still honestly not sure which to believe since both have, at the very least, decent evidence. So number 10. The fact that Angel's room in this book is small and she didn't like it really makes me wonder, like, where's Foxy Bro's room in FNaF 4 house? The Crying Child's house in the minigames. From what we're able to explore, there is no bedroom for him, and on the syslocation map, we see there is nothing else to the house. That's all there is. So I don't think Foxy Bro actually has a room, and that just goes to show how William doesn't care too much about him. Or at the very least, he just, like Myron, doesn't like him too much or just ignores him. Number 11. Angel keeps saying Ophelia is not her sister. This could possibly be a reference to Immortal and the Restless, because Vlad always says that, the baby isn't his. It's not his baby, you know? Number 12. When Angel stole and ate the Gumdrop nose, it made her feel small and ashamed. That wording there, small. I recently did a video on why in FNaF 4 we must play as Michael Afton and not the Crying Child, and I think that it's Crying Child torturing Michael, and that's why we get all those Easter eggs like the flowers and pills and stuff like that. But in FNaF 4, our player is small, like a little kid. This could be because, well, Crying Child torturing him and all that, but it could also be like Angel, he feels small and ashamed of what he did to his brother. Number 13. After Angel ate the Gumdrop, Myron comes banging on her door, yelling at her to open the door and come outside. This reminds me of how in Midnight Motorist, William comes banging on the door yelling at Crying Child to come outside. Now, I definitely don't think Angel represents Crying Child, but I still think this is a connection. Number 14. When Angel entered Ophelia's room to eat the Gumdrop, she's playing with her dolls. Which is pretty normal, but what makes me think this is important is the fact that she is talking to the dolls. Definitely connecting to Crying Child talking to his plushies. So those were all the details I found in this story. It kind of falls short at the end, but it's still pretty cool details for the most part. So now I will talk about the lore, but keep in mind that there's not too much lore in this story, so I won't discuss too much. I think we can agree that Angel is a parallel to Foxy Bro, Myron is William Afton, and Ophelia represents Crying Child. There doesn't seem to be too much lore in this story, though. A lot of people, me included, were expecting more proof for either Mike Bro or Mike Victim, more likely Mike Bro, because like that's more popular at this point. But the story honestly had very little connection to Michael Afton. There's little bits such as like the skin slowly changing to a different color, like Michael's turning purple in Syslocation, but I don't remember Mike becoming a literal Gumdrop statue, so yeah. There's not much to say for the lore. Some people have been saying, oh, maybe since Myron is her stepdad and he represents William, maybe Michael Afton could be like his William's stepson rather than his actual son, or adopted or something like that. Not sure about that, but hey, possible. So, anyways, at the time I'm recording this, I haven't yet read Sergio's Lucky Day, but I will for sure do that today. That rhymes. And I will also do a video just like this on that story and on what we found, as well as the Citre story. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you could please leave a like and subscribe, but I'll see y'all in the next video. I'll see you all in the next video. Impulse7 out, and peace.